Masturbation is a solo experience for many people, but mutual masturbation, where you're both pleasuring yourself in the same room or on camera or over the phone, can also be an amazing experience, and it has a lot of benefits. Sharing a masturbation session can be a great way to show a partner what you enjoy and how you like to be touched. It's an exciting opportunity to witness your partner's pleasure and vice versa. We all have a little bit of voyeur and exhibitionist in us, and it can be a great way to just ensure that everyone experiences what they want or need on that day without any pressure to perform or please. So when we approach mutual masturbation through the lens of mindfulness, it's not about performance for the other person or putting on a show. It's about sharing a really vulnerable and intimate experience. It's a shared experience of your most natural, intimate and vulnerable expression of your sexuality. So my personal experiences with mutual masturbation have been really shame-busting, liberating and freeing. They've really helped me to learn how to tune into my own body rather than just be sort of performing and a bit disconnected during partnered intimacy. I remember the first time I did it, I got completely distracted and I could really only focus on the sounds that my partner was making. And then I had to really practice to just slow down and bring my attention back to the physical sensations in my own body, which has helped me enormously in being able to access more kind of orgasmicness and deeper types of orgasms in my whole body. Exploring mutual masturbation has been a really bonding experience with my partner. I've learned things about the way that he touches himself that I just never would have known otherwise, and vice versa. And that has really informed the way that we approach and interact and kind of stimulate each other's bodies when we're then having partnered sex. And then being a witness to other people's masturbation experiences in my role as a masturbation coach it's been an incredibly humbling experience over the years. It's really quite something to just be present to someone doing what is probably the most intimate act of their life. So if you choose to explore mutual masturbation in this mindful way, I hope that it can bring you some of these benefits and can form this foundation for all the other kind of intimate experiences in your life. So you might feel a bit of resistance about trying out mutual masturbation, and that's totally understandable. Please don't ever do anything that you don't feel like a full-hearted yes to. Don't let someone talk you into something that you are not ready for. But I'm going to just bust a few myths about mutual masturbation, and maybe that will kind of help you to feel more informed and confident about trying it in the future. The first is that it's somehow less than sex, or it's only for people who are not having sex. So to that, I would say that sex is about so much more than just the kind of typical penetration experience that most people limit it to. And if you're kind of limiting yourself to just that as a sexual experience, then you're missing out on a lot of other really liberating, fun and pleasurable experiences. So mutual masturbation in a mindful way focuses on pleasure, on vulnerability, on arousal and openness, and it can be a really incredible contrast to the normal sort of routine. The second myth is that mutual masturbation is not something that straight couples do. And to that I say, well, that's just a bit silly, really, isn't it? Mutual masturbation can be shared and experienced by anyone, regardless of your gender, of your sexual orientation or your preference. As long as there's 2 or more consenting adults involved, it's really for anyone. The final myth that I'll address is that it is just as risky in terms of contracting an STI as having normal sex. And to that, I would say, no, not really. If you paid attention in biology class in school, you will know that this is probably the safest type of sex that you can participate in. So the chance of contracting an STI is significantly lowered because you are only touching yourself and not exchanging any bodily fluids. However, it's always good to be hygiene aware if you are going to share any toys or lubrication during your mutual masturbation. So to ensure that your mutual masturbation experience is as relaxed and pleasurable as possible, I encourage you to follow these simple guidelines. Talk about it first, and ideally on a separate day to when you're actually going to share the masturbation experience. Chat about what feels exciting, exhilarating and wonderful, and also, what maybe feels a bit edgy and nerve-wracking and scary about the experience. This chat should also include what your needs and individual boundaries are, things like if you're going to do it virtually or in person, if you're virtual, the agreement that you do or don't record the experience, if you're in person, where, when, how long, what happens afterwards, those kind of things. Create an intention, and this can be as simple as setting up the space, lighting some candles, lowering the lighting, having some nice music on. If you've agreed a time length, making sure that your timer is set. And this takes the experience from just something that you are sort of doing without really thinking about it to it being a more conscious and intentional practice. Begin in a really nice relaxed position. So to avoid going into that performance mode, I suggest that you don't start by sitting or standing facing each other. You can start by lying side by side or maybe even like back to back. If you're doing it virtually, just put the laptop or the phone, the device or whatever, just off to one side so that you're not staring and focusing on the visuals on the screen. This is going to help you to primarily keep your attention in your own body and focus on your sensation experience rather than getting distracted or performing for the other person. But having said that, try out some different positions. As you get into the experience, it can be nice to move into a position where you have a little bit more eye contact, where you can see and be seen. If you've agreed that this will be a really exclusive self-touch practice, be aware that you don't let it sort of blend into a more mutual touch experience. But it can also be a really fun way to lead into a more kind of typical interactive sex experience. And then the final one is just to be authentic. Try not to go into sort of patterns or ways of masturbating that you think your partner wants to see. It's more about sharing your genuine way of pleasuring your body. So if you would normally use toys, if you were alone, include those. If you would normally touch yourself, very slow and gently and sensually, don't start like hammering away just for the dramatic appearance. So remember, this can be a really sexy learning experience. Masturbating in the presence of another can, in a really interesting way, show you a lot about your sort of unconscious patterns or ways of doing things that perhaps you might not notice if you were just kind of habitually doing your normal masturbation on your own. Masturbation is often a really, kind of ingrained set of patterns and movements and actions that most of us haven't really changed since we were teenagers. So you can make some of these more kind of unconscious aspects of your experience more conscious just simply by being in the presence of someone else. In my online mindful masturbation course, we go into a lot more depth about how you can then use this awareness to change your patterns and habits and create a much more healthy and mindful relationship with your body, with self-pleasure. So if this video has sparked your interest, I suggest checking out that online course. There's a link in the description box below. And please remember to like and subscribe if you would like to receive more videos that will help you feel relaxed and confident with your body when it comes to touch, intimacy, and pleasure.